By Speed Shop. So I just want to do a little disclaimer before this video starts. I wasn't feeling real well when I did this video. I was on some new medication for my diabetes and it was messing with me. So not too energetic in it, and I didn't really show a whole lot, and kind of the camera footage is kind of all over the place. So apologize ahead of time and still hope you enjoy the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to Speed Shop. So we're gonna get back on the Firebird and we need to make some new drip rails for the back where the quarter panels will be replaced. So let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see, I'm missing the drip rails from here, from the roof line, all the way down on from the new quarter panels. So we're gonna make some new ones. And I think because of the thickness of it, and it needs to be rolled over at the very tip. I don't know if you can see that. Bring it in right there where it's rolled at the very tip of it. Kind of hard to see, but I have to roll over the edge, so we're probably gonna use 20 gauge for this to make it work better. And no, I still haven't filled this in yet, but so I get the drip rails on there, so that's the last portion of that that needs to be fabricated. All right, so it looks like we're gonna need about 14 inches for this corner, for this side. I'll probably make it a little bit big, so I'll go probably 15 inches on that one. And on this one, we're looking at, 14 will probably be enough for this side, but so we'll make two that are 15. I'm gonna do some shrinking on this to give a little bit of a curve. There ain't much of it there, but we have to fold it twice. So we gotta do a fold for the lip. So there's a lip on these things, like I said earlier. So we gotta fold that over, and then we gotta do another 90-degree fold to bring it out and around. So it's gonna be like, it's gonna be interesting to see if I can even do it with what I have, but we'll see if we can make it work. All right, so I went ahead and cut out a piece that is longer than it needs to be, obviously, because I think I went like 16 inches on it, but way longer than it needs to be. And I just went and bent over the edge here, over the edge of my bench, and then smushed it down, basically. So now it lines up pretty good. If you compare the end of that with the end of that, you can see, if I can get it to line up here, that they match up pretty nicely. So now I just gotta get the next bend in, which is about a 1/2 inch down, all on the edge, and then we'll figure out how to loop it around, because it's gotta make basically a rectangle like this to go up and underneath there. So that's what we're working on. All right, so I got the latest version of the drip rail. I'm on number 3. This was the first one, it was too small. This one, I bent it here and made it too big. So went from too small to too big, and now this one works pretty good. So this one I can make it work. So that's the new one. All right, so we got the first one semi-made. It's not quite done yet. I got the first 2 angles. I got that angle to go down there. And I dropped it below the actual sill here, just so so the water clears. Even though I think I gotta fill a little bit more down in there. But got the first piece semi-cut, still needs to be shaped. As you can see, hopefully you'll be able to see. Now it's not quite lining up, and the curve's going this way here. That curve there isn't really there yet either. But stage 1 of that piece is done. But I'm sweating. It's hot, and it's 100 degrees in the shop. So, Bri, drink. All right, so I got this piece pretty much made now. The way I did it, obviously I just used a table. I don't have a brake or anything. Just used some different pieces of metal and my vise. I put it in there and I actually bent it over that way to get that last angle. And the reason being, because on here it's an angle. There actually is an angle under there. It goes back this way. And I'm not gonna, this has a step in it, the original. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna make an angle back to this area here so I have a place to weld it to. And I just need to trim off this edge right here because it's a little long. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the channel. All right, so I got that piece pretty much finished. Just got to weld her in now. I also got to do a filler piece right there that I forgot about when I was doing this roof fill. I didn't do that piece right there, so I need to do that. I'm probably going to fill something in down here too. That way the water doesn't run down into the truck car. But yeah, so I got to do that too. Just a little extension there and a little patch there. But this piece is fitting pretty good. And I can live with that. It's going to serve the purpose. All right, so I got that little patch piece done now. Still needs a little bit of cleanup. So now we can go ahead and get our drip rail ready to go on. So it's ready to be welded in. I'm going to weld it from the back side first. So I got to get in there and clean up the area where it's going to weld to. But that's where we're at, and we're getting closer to getting this drip rail on here. All right, so we got the first one welded in. It's not fully welded in yet, but I got this top area done. So it's in there permanently now. Just got to get the rest of it welded in down below. So you're going to take some hammering and dollying and whatnot to get it all in there right. But I think the seam turned out pretty good. So you can't really tell it's not one piece. So pretty happy about that. But now we got a new drip rail. All right, so we got this drip rail completely welded in now. And it's gonna take some shaping to make it look better, but I mean, overall, it's turned out pretty good. I'll get some sealer in there. And yeah, but she's welded in fully. Now we got a full drip rail again. So now all we got left to do is this side here. And you can see where this is part of the new quarter panel. And the original drip rail I cut off to get access to this. But you can see the lip, like the metal where it's actually attached. And that's up underneath the quarter panel here. So what I did on that side is when I looped it around, I pinched it in and I welded directly to that original metal that was part of the drip rail. So it's all basically the same thing now. It's all one drip rail. Speed shop. So if you're all wondering how I use or what I'd use for a metal brake, this is what I do. So I'm going to show you how I do it in high speed. Now just a real quick way to show you that you can use pretty much anything to bend metal. I know it's not great, but I did it as quick as I could. But this is going to be the new drip rail for the driver's side for the Firebird, just like I did on this one. Okay, so we got the new driver's side drip rail in now too. So that'll pretty much finish it. Because it's smoothing everything out now. So I kind of messed up on this side because I had originally going to cut it out. And I bent it down and it's kind of all warped now. So I got to figure out a way of smoothing that whole thing out now. But both drip rails are done now. That's gonna do it for this video. I didn't want to get too much into it. I just wanted to show the progress of doing that drip rail. The way I made it, I kind of flew by the seat of my pants and just kind of went with what I could do. And I used a couple pieces of metal to bend it over. And yeah, it ended up turning out pretty nice in my opinion for what I have to work with. So if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like down there, leave me a comment. Let me know what I can do better. I'm sure there's a lot I can do a lot better, but you know what I'm talking about. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So until next time, I will see you all later.